Hey active travelers, welcome to my guide to the beautiful island of Antigua. In this video, I will show you some of the best beaches, things to do on the island, driving and where to stay, and much more. Be sure to watch till the end of the video where I will share some helpful tips for your journey. The island of Antigua has a long history and was initially settled by local tribes more than 1,000 years ago. Today, the island has a feel of British influence and English is spoken everywhere. Its scenic landscape consists of mostly gently sloping hills with valleys in between. Its highest elevation is only 400 meters or 1,300 feet high, which is much lower than most of its neighboring islands. Getting to Antigua is surprisingly easy since there appear to be many direct flights from multiple US and Canadian cities. The airport in Antigua is fairly small, but is well designed, making the arrival and departure experience quite smooth. Once on the island, you can rely on pricey taxis, which are great if you just want to get to your resort and either stay there or only take paid excursions from there. If, however, you want to explore the island, you likely want to rent a car. Just keep in mind that the driving experience is not ideal for those who are not very comfortable behind the wheel. In Antigua, they drive on the left side of the road, and the car steering wheel is on the right side of the car. For a North American or European driver, this takes some getting used to. My number one advice: pay attention to the left edge of your car and leave extra room. Otherwise, you may hit something on the left side like I did. 98% of the road surfaces are relatively good, but it's the 2% with huge potholes and deep cracks that will get you. I rented a sedan and survived it, but if I had to do it again, I'd get an SUV. You don't need a Jeep, but a RAV4 or CRV with better ground clearance would have made a huge difference. Spend the extra $10 a day, it's worth it. I'd also rent from one of the local car companies. They are amazing to deal with and will drop off and pick up the car from anywhere. I used Down West Car Rental and they were great to deal with. And they were accessible for questions anytime via WhatsApp. Oh, and if you use Google Maps for navigation, it works great, until it doesn't. Use it, but stick to the more major roads when planning your driving path, else you may end up on a really bad dirt road and have to turn around. When it comes to accommodation, there's lots of choice, from a reasonably priced all-inclusive like the Jolly Beach Resort, to high-end all-inclusives, as well as private Airbnbs and smaller hotels. I split my stay and did a 7-night kite-surfing Catamaran Cruise around the whole island, followed by 7 nights in an all-inclusive to unwind, and 5 nights in private Airbnb for island discovery. I have separate videos on the Jolly Beach Resort where I stayed, as well as the Catamaran Cruise, so be sure to view those as well. They will be linked at the end of this video. The actual location of where to stay depends on what you want to do. If you want to just hang out at the beach, then I'd recommend the Jolly Beach on the southwest side or Dickenson Bay on the northwest side. If you want to do full island discovery, I'd probably keep to Jolly Harbor or south or east end of town. You can pretty much drive across the island in any direction in 45 minutes, but I find the most painful part being driving in the core of St. John around the cruise ship port. The roads are often congested and you could end up wasting 20 minutes sitting in traffic each time you cross the area. Being south of St. John allows you to avoid it most of the time when exploring the other parts of the island. When it comes to beaches, I hear Antigua has 365 beaches, one for each day of the year. Though that may be true, not all beaches are great and many are not worth visiting. I checked out a lot of the beaches around the island, and here are the ones that stood out for me. The first one is Jolly Beach. This beach is beautiful with powder white sand, calm turquoise waters, and shallow entry in. It also has scenic hills on either end of the beach for some spectacular scenery. This beach is ideal for kids and the elderly who do not want to be battling waves. The beach also has some vendors and allows you to rent jet skis. Overall, this was my favorite beach. The only downside is that you can't really snorkel here. The next beach that I liked was Half Moon Bay. This beach has a bit of everything, depending on which side of the bay you plant yourself on. The middle and west side has more waves, and you could even do some boogie boarding, while the east end is calmer and has water with better visibility for snorkeling. The snorkeling here isn't world class, but at least you can see something. The main downside of this beach though is that it's on the far side of the island and a bit of a drive. I also liked Pigeon Point Beach for its calmer water and great shade under palm trees. Though be aware that it is on the edge of a big ship port, and when all those ship passengers flush toilets, you know where it all goes. Another beach that you may want to visit is Deep Bay Beach, mainly due to its scenery and opportunity to do a quick hike to see the ruins of Fort Barrington. The hike up only takes 8 minutes, but it is challenging and you should wear running shoes. We enjoyed the trek as well as the nice views from top. And best of all, it's free. But the only way to get to it with a car is to drive and park at the Lagoon Bridge. Although I didn't spend much time there, the Dickenson Bay Beach is also super nice. This is where the Sandals Resort is located. The last beach I will mention is Jabberwock Beach near the airport. The beach is a favorite for kite surfers since it is on the windy side of the island but protected from big waves by a distant reef. You can even find a kite surfing school there, and you can rent gear or take lessons. When it comes to being active, here's a sampling of the kinds of activities you can do. The thrill seekers like me can enjoy kite surfing or wing foiling. Antigua is great for wind sports, since the windy east side of the island gets steady amounts of wind and has many lagoons and bays protected by distant coral reefs, making the water nice and flat. You can rent a jet ski in any one of the more popular tourist spots like Jolly Beach and explore the local bay while having a thrilling time on the water. For a more leisurely time, you can buy a boat cruise. These can range from quick afternoon or sunset cruises to multi-day adventures that I did. If you like to explore underwater, you can also go scuba diving. There are a few dive shops in Jolly Beach as well as around English Harbor. We used Indigo divers for our dives and they were amazing. They have a big, comfortable boat, good equipment, and fun and attentive staff. During our dives, we went to the south side around Cades Reef and managed to see a variety of marine life. We even managed to spear one of those invasive lionfish and later feed it to a large hungry lobster. Another attraction you can do to be up close to marine life on a guided tour is visiting Stingray City. You will shell out about $75 a person and will be whisked away by boat to a shallow water of a distant reef and be able to interact with wild stingrays. You'll be able to touch them, feed them, and even have the guides teach you about these amazing creatures. If instead you want to stay on land, there are many hiking trails on the island. Some that go up to peaks of hills for nice scenic views, while others go down to remote beaches like the Rendezvous Bay Beach. You can also drive out to a local black pineapple plantation to see this special variety of pineapples. It is best to call ahead though to make sure the farmer will be there to meet you. The last activity I will mention is the local musical and food attraction at Shirley Heights. Here, you can hear steel drum musicians do their thing on a hilltop setting overlooking the English harbor, all while eating some nice barbecue chicken or other meats. This event is on every Thursday and Sunday, costs $10 to get in, and can get very crowded, especially at sunset. I would avoid this place if you hate big crowds of tourists, loud music, and waiting in line for up to 30 minutes to order food, especially on Sundays. Otherwise, you should go and will love it. And if you do go, be sure to first stop at the Blockhouse Lookout, that is right next to Shirley Heights. From there, you will have spectacular views of the island, and on clear days, you will even see the neighboring islands of Guadeloupe, Montserrat, and Nevis. When it comes to food, the island supermarkets are surprisingly well stocked with a variety of items, including fruits and veggies, meats and cheeses, and packaged foods. In general, supermarket prices are noticeably more expensive than in USA or Canada, especially imported ingredients, veggies, and milk products. The only exception I found was meats, which were surprisingly a lot cheaper. If instead of cooking you want to eat out in restaurants, you better be prepared to spend, especially if eating in the prime tourist areas. A croissant or muffin can cost $6 and meals can cost anywhere from $20 to $60 or even more. And be sure you know which currency the menu is in. Oh, and one more interesting thing you should know about Antigua is that it is a very popular destination for boats. Given its geography and its multiple protected bays with harbors, it is popular for both sailors crossing the Atlantic Ocean as well as owners of super yachts. And if you visit in December during the annual yacht show, you will be able to see a large number of these super yachts all around the island. If you are finding this video informative, please help me out by pressing the like button below. And now, here are some tips for your journey. We found the people on the island friendly and helpful. We never felt unsafe anywhere. The electrical plugs are mostly North American. For cell data, I bought a Digicel eSIM online for $40 and had great reception with fast data everywhere. When it comes to renting a car during peak tourist times, book early. Many car rental companies don't have real-time inventory online, so it may appear like there are lots of available cars, and yet when you contact them, the cars may all be rented. For paying for things, East Caribbean dollars as well as US dollars are widely accepted anywhere on the island. Be sure to know which currency the prices are listed in. Antigua is a fun, relaxed, off-the-beaten-path destination, and I highly recommend visiting it. A stay of 5 to 7 days should be enough to get a good taste of the island. So, if you are considering staying in Antigua at an all-inclusive resort, be sure to watch my video review of the Jolly Beach Resort. And if you like water-based adventures, check out my video of a 7-day Catamaran Cruise of Antigua. You just may surprise yourself with how much you might enjoy it. I know that I did.